That's part of it. You can see, we do it all the time. We've been doing it, but we just getting started. Because see, Allah gives you what you need, or what's part of your mission. You know that big, beautiful mission and the big, beautiful world we're talking about that? We're going to have to break all the barriers. What's the things that's always held us down? That's one of them, and so all other stuff. We have to break all those barriers. So we given our barriers. And we're to do it in the public. Everybody know what we're doing. There ain't going to be no hidden stuff. The other thing, you can't share this space with anyone else. In other words, you try to share a moment, or share a picture, or share. You can't share this feeling because you can't transfer it from yourself to nobody else. They have to earn their own space in paradise, and then I have earth and heaven. Then I skip right to MS-13, M&M's, that's Mexican Mafia. And I have social organization there. I have Norteños. Norteños are the Mexicans in California that are from the north. San Francisco, on up. Southeños are the one down in LA. You know they fight each other? Do you know M&M's, Mexican Mafia, and others, they fight and kill each other. In fact, they are saying, yeah, we've been eating a lot of M&M's lately. That means they've been killing a lot of Mexican Mafia. You know, Latinos. So this is a message to you, dear Latinos. We're not in your business, but we're going to give you just some overview of our experience with us. I say us because I done lived in your country longer than most of y'all have, so can't say nothing that I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about, I have right down here, Sinaloa, Cali, Medellin. Those are well-known. Sinaloa cartel. Sinaloa, you know the state of Sinaloa, Culiacan, Mazatlan, Los Mochis, all of those are in Culiacan, in Sinaloa. Sinaloa cartel and others got big when they busted up a lot of not busted up, but a lot of the Medellin cartel, Cali cartel, and all the drugs that was coming from South America, they started dropping it off in Mexico, big time. When they did that, the Mexican cartels got big and rich. Before, everybody semi-cooperated. But all the cartels, what happens to them? When this Medellin cartel kick off, then they having a little friction with the Cali cartel. Cali is another city in Colombia. In fact, they used to say the most beautiful women in Colombia are in Cali. I agree with them. Yes, no doubt about that. So, here's what your friend, the white man, does to everybody, all the time, everywhere. Get one of his own crew to fight against him. They might build up the other one first, then they build up another one behind it. When it's time, this one is getting big and they get started. Okay, now we'll send this one against that one. When that one gets rid of that one, they got another one behind it. So nobody gets to institutionalize their power and wealth. They did it in Colombia. All the fighting and killing of the cartels in Mexico, where did the guns come from? They had a fitna in the media a few years ago, right? That the federal agent that was killed down in Mexico was killed with what? an American weapon supplied by who? The American government. So the weapons, high-powered weapons, they supply them to the one group to kill the other. Then they supply the other weapons to another group to kill each other. What's so important about MS-13? It's right in the middle of the paper today. You hear it all on the news. But this shows about, they talk about on the elections, they talk about America's medals elections too. They got the world out there, and that's America. Now I'm going to tell you about our elections, our life. I meant to say something the other day about the weapons in LA. Now, all of y'all can go to the archives of the Los Angeles Sentinel and others. When the Black Panther Party was shooting it out with the government, it was hard to get guns. That's in 68, 69, and 70. But by 72, 73, the rebellion is over. What's LA flooded with? Guns. Who are they using the guns against? Each other. Chitty chitty bang bang, ain't nothing but the Crip thing. I was in LA County Jail, I was just shocked. Oh, what does this mean? When I left the country, black people was fighting against the white man. When I got back, not that long later, they was killing each other, and they was using Elliot Ness type drive-by shootings, you know, like they saw. They followed that stuff in Hollywood. My partners up in Oakland that was big, Felix Mitchell, it was watching for his whole crew to watch Untouchables. Well, mine too, moving for him. That's what made us bigger than other niggas. See, here's the problem, this is serious stuff. Everybody else watched all the other gangsters and pimps and everything, and they wanted to be that. Well, that's just a car, a few girls, you know, to fast life. But we watch Frank Nitti, Al Capone. They had an organization. Do you know what our organization was structured like? Just like Frank Nitti. The boys, the lieutenants, on down. Exactly. That's why we got so big. We didn't want to be like niggas. A Cadillac, we get a Cadillac in 2 days of work. You know, in the beginning, in 3-4 days of work, you get a Cadillac. So we wanted to be gangsters. You look at all them old pictures. We got Hamburgs, them big old black 68 Cadillacs, long and low, gangster style. Vogue tires. We wanted to be gangsters. That's our heroes. Al Capone. I was talking to the FBI. I said, that's what we want to be like Al Capone. So he says, you know, Al Capone started doing I said, I didn't want to be like the real Al Capone. I wanted to be like the TV Al Capone. I don't care nothing about what he started telling on nobody. You know what I mean? The TV Al Capone, not no doggone real Al Capone that died with syphilis and all of that. I don't want to do that. Okay. It says, we have survived every war. I have Paget down here. I have Paget there because Paget invited me there in '98. They knew my history. People Against Gangsters and Drugs. When we went around Cape Town, we went into 3 courtrooms. They all was full of the top leaders going to court for cases. The newspaper said Paget guys get blown up in a van. When we went to the big meeting, thousands of people in the Masjid, and I told the brothers this is what they invited me for. I said, you guys, This is 1998, but I can close my eyes, I can smell it. It's 1968 for the Black Panther Party all over. Your group is infiltrated. Your group is already scheduled to be. I say, people talk about going to bomb a place. I said the people that packed the bombs for you was the police. That's why they blow it up. They just didn't have experience. I said, no, this here. So we gave lectures. You know who started hating us? The rich Muslims. Because Paget was doing something wrong. Or he did something right though. In 98, they told me, hey man, the street prayer, they call him that. So that guy's funny. We hate him. He's something wrong with him. That's what they said. Now they're still there. I can verify this. They ain't went nowhere. Everything I'm telling you is verifiable. But it was still out of my ability. You remember, you're one person against all of this. And ain't nobody surviving long enough to learn nothing. You know what I mean? Where you can, and everybody that's big, they didn't set the stage. Everybody's big here in the country, in the U.S. Shoot, we went to the Metameeting, they didn't let us talk. The forming of Manna. Zayd was there, Siraj was there, all the writers, the Negro, they was there, they could talk. I couldn't even talk. I said, I don't know. Put my name on the board of directors for a little while, but after that I said, no. Y'all the police, man, the police. Hamza Yusuf can talk, say anything he wants. And I can't say nothing. And y'all gonna choose the name chairman because Hamza Yusuf said he has bayah to somebody in Mauritania somewhere, right? And to use Amir is too strong. That's why the niggas called. I said, well, we ought to Chairman Mao, we want to call it then. Instead of Amir, we'll have Chairman Mao. They chose the name, the chairman, chairman of Manna. Anyway, these are serious issues. We suggest when the white man put MS-13 on here, what does that mean? He already got you set up. The white man's pattern is this. When he come out, we're gonna get rid of da-da-da-da-da. Have we seen this before with the FBI? Yes. Do you remember when the Berlin Wall fall? Communism was supposed to collapse in 91. Does anybody, they had 350 extra FBI agents. Does anybody remember what they did with those agents?
Send them to Cali.
Huh?
Send them to California, to the
black gangs, right? Mm-hmm. Black gangs. Yep. How could Negro gangs be second in importance to the Soviet Union? It's impossible. But the Negroes had the potential because they had given them drugs, money, and what have you, and some of them, of course, they was killing each other. They was dropping, hey man, if anybody remember Iran-Contra, brother, you could remember here in D.C., man. They gave us high power. They make sure you get high-powered weapons and drugs and reason to fight. And nobody could civilize the brothers.
Can we say that about Chicago too, right now?
Chicago is exactly that. They've got plenty of drugs and plenty of weapons. And nobody there with any sense to say, wait a minute, man, we're killing each other. Okay. Now, with all of this, never fighting each other, I learned that from the little kiddie jails. See, they put us all in little kiddie jails, and we come up a certain way, number one. The white man told me in 1959, It was a ranch in Cottage, this Frico Ranch School for boys. It was really a ranch. I mean, it's really like, you did night hikes, you went down to beaver swings and had tires, and you swing on the tires and the rope into the lake made by fresh water. You can drink it right there because there's the mountains right there. 80 miles away, and you can see the mountains, and that water smelled of snow, and the trout fishing, and that. You just went to school, But they always had a certain amount of white boys, a certain amount of Mexicans, and a certain amount of blacks. They try to keep it balanced out. I learned lessons. Suppose we was in a company of 60, and it was only 10 niggas, but it was 40 whites. 25 whites, you know what I mean, and 25 Mexicans, and we only had 10 niggas. I didn't know what I was doing. When I would walk in a new place, before you sit down near your locker, I'd already counted it. This was natural. Now, that's why the police was always giving me trouble. They knew what I was doing, but I just thought this is normal. And so I was becoming always a little leader, you know what I mean? Because if you weak, you get all your stuff took from you. But I learned if it's 10 of you and it's 40 or 50 of them, and you organize, you got a good leadership, you could run the whole show. That's just the white man talk. So the white man told me in 1959, they write little notes they had a notebook, and they write by your name. You either get a grade. A 1 is bad, a 5 is stupendous. You get a write-up, chrono by your name. Number 4 is good. Number 3 is all right. So the white man told me, Reams, you're race conscious. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I was thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Race conscious. I'm black, everybody else. Well, I gotta be conscious of race. Thinking about race. I mean, I didn't know it from what he was talking about. That I was organizing little niggers. And when you grew up in that environment, you automatically, hold it, we together here. We never had no Oakland, LA. My best friends from LA, Philly the drunk and them, they're all from LA. Because my friends from Oakland are automatically my friends. Right? Here's something else that's important. This division, one of the big preachers there in Oakland, we come up together, I was a little ahead of him. And the people was telling them something. It was serious because his wife committed suicide because we the big boys and he's coming up. And she thought evidently, so I heard, I went by early in the morning and I said, hey man, what's happening? He said, niggas say this. I said, that's why I came here. Because niggas is saying something. I came here to tell you what I say. I talked to him about it a year or so ago. He said, man, we've been good friends. And we're very good friends. But the police was going to use him against me. And it must have been some of them tattletale Negroes in my group that was telling them something. That was police. See, afterthought give you, when I go over who's who and everybody, hey man, it don't look too good. This is very important. We gain the experience. So, the Sinaloa cartel fights and slaughters the other cartel. The white man makes sure that they kill each other, so those billions of dollars, the Mexicans never benefit from it. All the dope money that was sold in the Negro community for the last 50 years, it ain't no benefit to the Negro community. None. It all went to judges, lawyers, and bail bondsmen, right? And the few Negroes that got a few dollars, they move out somewhere else, but they don't keep it no time. How many big Negroes got to keep their money? Got to establish a little legitimate business. The numbers are small. That means there's a big game being played. Now I'm telling y'all, because I got wrote down here on one of the papers, I'm an expert at this. I have lived through this whole worldwide thing that they got there. I have lived through all of it. Now, I'm telling you, as the expert on all of this, I wouldn't have lived through it if I didn't know what I was doing. You don't get lucky but once or twice. You get, oh, that nigga was lucky. He was out of town, but if he's out of town every time a bomb fall, if a safe fall out of a 20-story building, and he's getting ready to step, and somebody called his name, and he stepped back and turned around, and the safe hit right there, all the time, every time, it ain't luck. That's the qadr of Allah and other stuff. Okay, so what we're saying to MS-13 today, change yourself into a social improvement organization today, because don't plan no murders. Anybody owe you money, let them go. You know why? Because I don't know the numbers or percentage of the people in MS-13 are police, but imagine if they're going to send 1,000 Latinos back to Salvador and everything. And they tell that whole 1,000, you cooperate with us, you can come back to America. How many is going to cooperate? They're saying, we want you to join MS-13. So you might have 5 or 10 out of 1,000 people real MS-13. The rest is the police. I'm just telling you the way it is. Don't kill nobody. Don't talk about killing nobody. They've destroyed every one of our groups. Remember years ago, all them niggas walking around with white robes and all, who was that? Yahweh ben Yahweh and them. Where are they at now? They was here today and gone tomorrow, right? Boof. They's everywhere.